What is going on, everybody? Tech enthusiast here, and this is a camera comparison video between the Redmi K20 Pro against the OnePlus 7 Pro. The Redmi K20 Pro is the new Flagship Killer 2.0 and it costs a lot less than the OnePlus 7 Pro, but how will it do in this camera comparison? Let's find out in this video. Just before starting the comparison, here is a quick look at the camera specs. The Redmi K20 Pro has a triple camera setup, a 48 megapixel main lens, an 8 megapixel telephoto lens with 2x optical zoom, and a 13 megapixel ultra wide angle lens. The OnePlus 7 Pro also has a similar setup, a 48 megapixel main lens, an 8 megapixel telephoto lens with 3x optical zoom, and a 16 megapixel ultra wide angle lens. As for the video recording, both of the phones can record up to 4K at 60 frames per second. For slow motion videos, the K20 Pro can record slow motion video at 240 frames per second at 1080p and super slow motion videos at 960 frames per second in 720p. The OnePlus 7 Pro can record 240 frames per second at 1080p and 480 frames per second at 720p. This is a focus test video recording on the Redmi K20 Pro to see how fast it focuses with the background and the foreground object. This is a focus test video recording on the OnePlus 7 Pro to see how fast it focuses with the background and the foreground object. In this video comparison, do look out for the animated speaker icons so you know which device the audio is coming from. This is a 1080p video recording at 30 frames per second between the Redmi K20 Pro against the OnePlus 7 Pro. Okay, let's go down and have a look at some of the ducks here. Okay, they're swimming away, but not this one here. Let's have a look at the bottom and see how the clarity is when we compare it back. And a brief look in this area. So I'm just going to move back up and do a short jog to see how the video stabilization is between the two. This is a 4K video recording at 30 frames per second between the Redmi K20 Pro against the OnePlus 7 Pro. Okay, so the Redmi K20 Pro is one of the best flagship phones you can buy at this price, and it literally costs nearly half the price of the OnePlus 7 Pro. And we're going to find out in this comparison how the cameras hold up. So just a short jog to see the video stabilization in 4K. And let's see what we've got down here. And as usual, some of the wildlife is here. And let's just take a look at the surrounding area. So that is the end of this camera shootout. For daylight photos, it was close, but the K20 Pro seemed to have more details than the OnePlus 7 Pro. I also noticed that OnePlus tends not to do too well with reds, such as the rose. You weren't able to distinguish the petals. For portrait photos, the K20 Pro looked bland and washed out, the OnePlus 7 Pro was better here. Telephoto and super wide angle is slightly better on the OnePlus 7 Pro. For indoor photos and low light photos, the OnePlus 7 Pro is the better of the two. When it came to low light photos including outdoors, this is where the K20 Pro suffered the most. Even with night mode, you could see more noise on the K20 Pro compared to the OnePlus 7 Pro. For video recording, the OnePlus 7 Pro was better and it did not have that jelly-like effect found on the K20 Pro. Also, the audio quality is much better on the OnePlus 7 Pro. For slow motion videos, the K20 Pro can record up to 960 frames per second at 720p, whereas the OnePlus 7 Pro does up to 480 frames per second at 720p, but you can record much longer. So what did you think of this camera comparison video? Which of these phones will you or have you bought? Do let me know in the comment section. Although the OnePlus 7 Pro costs more, it is overall the better phone as it has a Quad HD AMOLED display, stereo speakers, UFS 3.0, USB 3.1, dash charging, and a clean version of Android with active updates. I have also done a speed test and benchmark comparison which you can also find on my channel. If you have enjoyed this video, then give it a thumbs up. If you are new here, then please do consider subscribing as I have more videos coming up, so make sure you hit that bell icon so you get notified as soon as I release those videos. Please do follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and like always, thanks for watching and I will catch up with you in the next video.